Hey folks, Kozzi here, drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1 with our Feln Infiltrate deck that focuses on having a couple of powerful Infiltrate creatures as well as Recurring Nightmare and some of the best removal in the game. This hand is very tempting. As long as we draw one power, we can cast everything in our hand. We start off with a Ranger. We have Recurring Nightmare, so we have a win condition in our hand already. The catch is that we're on the play and we're short one power. Let's go for gold, hey? It's one of those ones which I think this is the kind of hand I feel as I could put up and I'll get as many different answers, like 50-50 on whether to keep or throw back. The Permafrost is a nice draw, but not a power, and it could be something that will tempt me to use. Tundra Explorer is a powerful creature, so I no longer feel bad about using it. However, it doesn't use my power super efficiently. Do I just let him get in with a spell or trade off my Ranger? If I do, it allows me to play my Recurring Nightmare straight away. The one thing I need to be aware of is that this is the kind of deck that has Lightning Strike, which could make my Recurring Nightmare worse. So perhaps I should play conservatively with Desperado. Nah, I've kept the hand going for glory. Let's truly go for glory. If he ever holds up power, then we develop instead. Now this does mean I don't develop my board, and it's a little bit problematic as he's going to have flyers. But if we get in fast enough, he'll be dead before he knows it. So in this scenario, I think we'll put down the Desperado. Give him a choice. And I can definitely understand him wanting to dig there. It's a little bit awkward. This could be the chance for me to use my Violent Gust. The fact that he'll play another one is a little bit of a pain. But he is tapped out, so I think I want to take my opportunity to get my damage in whilst I can. Or I should say powered down. And the clock is getting ever faster with this Recurring Nightmare, so if he's forced to be playing just one spell a turn, the Permafrost is going to cause him real problems soon. So I could choose to Sky Snapper him here and just wait and see. I could Permafrost it. This will then kill the Permafrost, so I've effectively wasted it. Or we could just play them out. It does open it up to whatever removal he has, but often their removal is conditional. But it'll give me a better chance to see what's going on. Okay, let's just do this. Do I want to offer up the trade? He'll be forced to block. Yeah, I think I do. I probably should have done this before playing out, but I feel as though his hand is certainly played right now. Next turn we can Permafrost whatever he plays. Oh, that's interesting. So if I attack here, he's probably forced to block. But I think I just want to get my damage in. And in this instance, I don't think I want to cast him again. I just don't want to take the risk of exposing him to removal. And the highest thing in my deck costs 5. This would be a very nice time for me to draw my Jotun Hurler. So yeah, this is a tricky matchup. Not a lot of opponents have quite this much removal. Oh, sorry, not removal, flying creatures. It's very clear that this is an Elysian flyer deck that I'm up against. I think I want to keep digging to see if I can find a better piece of removal. We can play this whenever we want. And at least we've dealt with having 2 bad draw steps there. It's just that this is a chance for him to continue developing his board. If we ever draw a piece of removal for that final 1/5 flyer, and I feel as though we can be in an okay spot. I could do the damage to the face, but given that he's going to be gaining a life each turn, I think we'll just clean up the board as much as we can. That is a very good card for them to have. So it looks like they'll be able to draw an additional card if they attack in and chump attack with those spies, which I imagine they'll do, considering otherwise I could just pick them off one by one. Ooh, it's a good combat trick to have. So I need to remember that this is the spy I want to kill next turn, because it's the one that hasn't drawn him a card yet. Now I don't have any other cards like Herald Song in my deck. I don't have anything that cares about me holding back sigils, so I think we just need to hope that we draw into something more useful. The life gain doesn't worry me too much. If we can get rid of this flyer, then we should be back in the box seat. If he's attacking in, he must have some kind of trick. What kind of trick could he have? He could have that card that gets more powerful as you have more copies, that would enable him to do 3 damage. I can't think of anything else that he'd have that will punish me. And if he does, then his whole hand must be clogged up with him, and I desperately need to get him out of his hand anyway, because that will be able to kill my recurring nightmare. And out come the fatties. This is when we can get in trouble if we don't draw anything useful. Speaking of nothing useful, if we had something to cast on the False Prince, we'd be able to ping it. So instead I think we just need to ping the face. Yeah, this has gotten away from us. He's very clearly built for controlling, and that's what he's been able to do. I need to ask myself the question of, if I would have just focused on developing my board rather than trying to get him with a recurring nightmare, would things have gone better for me? I think it's dubious. The fact that he had the 1/5 flyer as well as the Petrarch's Hatchling. Yeah, he's not too useful for me right now. These are all the cards that I would have hoped to see earlier. And he has a combat trick of some description. I imagine that this is going to be levitated. Yep. Yeah, and we've drawn Stone Cold nothing, so there's not much else we can do there, which is a little bit of a shame. Got off to a good start. But between the life gain and the walls, he was able to stabilize very effectively against us. And if that would have been a deck without flyers, I feel as though he would have been dead. This is a worrisome hand. Generally I keep hands that have both power and spells. But the fact that I can cast none of these unless I draw another power is the same as having a 2-power hand here, and I'm missing out on a spell. So I think I'd rather just redraw it. This hand is better so long as I draw a power. Now this is the kind of opponent that I feel that my deck will do better against, on the condition that we draw that power. Yes, we really need to draw that power right now. So mathematically, if I have 17 sigils and 37 cards in the deck, oh, I have 15 and 36. It should be a 1 out of 3 chance of drawing this sigil. So I can feel reasonably unlucky if it doesn't happen by this third draw step. That's a problem. Yeah, okay. If this is the case, we want to stop him from getting too many war cries. But there's also not a lot you can do when you're getting power screwed. We just need to hold on. We need to hope that this doesn't get any bigger because our removal is still a fair way away. We don't have any really good defensive cards. So this is the quintessence of too little too late. I guess we play the Desperado, we give him Trickster's Cloak next turn, we kill whatever is the card that's scaring us the most, but to be frank, they both scare us quite a bit. Then he stays back as a 5/4 that can block. Ideally by then we would have drawn another power to cast the Death Strike. So he's going to put it here, and this is going to become the card that scares me the most. So I take 7, next turn I take 10, so I'm almost dead by the time I pull off this plan. Yeah, we just needed to draw a sigil sooner. So the other thing I could contemplate is using my Death Strike now. If I use it now, I can kill the 5/3. He'll attack for 5, putting me on 9. I attack and I'm still in a tight spot. If I attack for 5, I can kill the 5/3. Yeah, and I still have my removal, so even though it stops me from being able to trade on defense, that's what I have to do. If we had remember how I was talking in the draft about that Vulture being great because you could play 2 cards? If we had the Vulture in hand, I'd be feeling a lot safer right now because we could slow down this clock. And yeah, in doing my maths before, I was incorrect because I added the extra 5 of not factoring into account that the Desperado would have killed his best creature. Okay. So I think here I can either hold up the Death Strike and kill whatever scares me, and that would probably mean I'll sit back, take the attack, and if he has a combat trick, use it. Otherwise I can cast the Gorgon Swiftblade that will hopefully slow down these 2 guys and hold up the Devour to get value on whatever he can deal with. And yeah, the aim of the game right now is just to slow him down. If he has a Torch, I can still get value, although I open myself up a bit. But yeah, it's all that I really have available to do right now. If he attacks, I think I block the 2/2 here in case he has that fast spell that only does 1 damage and gives +1/+1 to a creature, so that way I don't get blown out. And if he sits back, I breathe a sigh of relief in the knowledge that I have myself some time. I have a choice of continuing to develop and offering a 2-for-1 block here. I could use my Death Strike. I then need to make up my mind whether I want to do it now or let him get an extra Warcry in. I think we just need to maintain the status quo. And then next turn this is going to be a more valuable blocker. He still has a scarily large hand for an aggressive deck when I'm on less than 10. If I can get that extra power, I can play the hurler, which will have me a lot happier. So I have a choice. I can double block here. He'll do 4 damage to the Desperado. I'll kill it there. I've lost my board and I take 6. Or I can block, trade out. Hopefully he stays alive. I take 4 going to 5, and next turn I can cast another blocker. Yeah, I think that's better for me. So long as he doesn't have a trick, but the fact that there's a pause here probably means I'm blown out either way. Yeah. Is there a way of surviving? I can play the Recurring Nightmare. I can play the Stranger. I take 2. I take 3 rather. And I then still don't have a way of dealing with the 4-2. Or the 3-3. I could play Scheme and hope to find a piece of removal, but then I take 5. If I play the 4-4, he can just attack with all 3, and then I take 6. No, we're gone here. I died because of Power Screw. It would have been a game if I would have been able to develop on time, but yeah, just being that 1 turn behind when he had a pair of Rakano Outlaws is just a tall order. We almost stabilized there. I could have considered if I played my 4-drop, but the fact that he had the Finest Hour meant that no matter what I played would have died there. It's just that Rakano Outlaws are an exceptionally powerful card, and powerful cards hurt you when you get screwed more than usual. So far with my sweet Feln aggro deck that I was really excited to play, I've gone up against pretty much the perfect matchup for it to be hard in the Elysian Flyers, and I've gone up against a very aggressive deck where I've gotten power screwed, which is a shame, but it's just RNG, you know. We're short 1 sigil. We have a whole series of 3-drops. Our curve isn't great, but these are good cards if we get them, and we have a permafrost to stop getting run over. So I think this is another hand. We've been unlucky drawing another aggressive deck. We've been unlucky drawing so few sigils so far. I feel as though we could have been treated a little bit better. We'll permafrost this just so we don't keep taking a huge amount of damage. If this deck is as aggressive as it looks, I think he's unlikely to have too many more cards that are amazing. And even though we could have pung it, is that the past tense for ping? Pung? Alright, so that punishes us for that early call. I think we try and encourage him to hold back. If he casts a X1 creature on the assumption that that can block, then we can cast our Stormcaller to kill it. Otherwise, we can keep developing with our Stonescar Magus. That's not a 1 toughness creature though, although it did keep him back. Okay, that's good news. Unfortunately, we're also missing the double primal that we need right now. I think we keep threatening him to stay back. Very surprised he didn't attack in. Okay, that makes more sense. That's good value for him. So we really want our primal now. I can block and slow him down. I can block and kill. I think we need to turn into 3 power so that my Reckless Snapper stops him for a turn. Again, getting punished on the power that we drew, even though I feel as though we had the right power base. We were running 17 power, so it's not as though it was bad. And we've run into a Flyers deck that makes life hard, an aggressive deck when our hand has been clunky. We have the choice of attacking with him and returning it. That will turn into a 2 power. We'll then take 6 going to 4. We have this to double block, taking 5 going to 5 and hoping we draw something like a Jotun Hurler. I think that's what we need to do. Yeah, so we made a huge mistake in using the permafrost so quickly. That really was the ultimate punishment for it. And then we've drawn something that isn't useful at all yet again. Well, folks, I think that's just about the best deck I've ever gone 0-3 with. And I don't think, like, okay, the permafrost was a mistake in retrospect. I was expecting him to play, yeah, something more like the target creature gets -1/-1, so the Acolyte. I didn't anticipate the Thornbeast, also because I just didn't see any go through in the draft. There were just none going around whatsoever. And so I didn't think that that was something I had to play against. So yeah, first game we're up against a whole bunch of 1x Flyers, which is the perfect foil really to our plan of Recurring Nightmare. Second game we got screwed against a hyper-aggressive deck. And third game I made a mistake. He got the 5/5. I should, if I had the removal, then we probably could have won that game. So I can't just say that I lost all 3 on random. But yeah, I really do genuinely. And you know, then we just drew all sigils. If we'd drawn something like a Hurler, if we'd drawn a Death Strike, if we'd drawn the Cabal Recruiter, if we'd drawn the Destroyer, if we'd drawn a Trickster's Cloak, even if we'd drawn the Life Drinker, all of these would have had us in the game. So we had very decent chance. In fact, okay, it was half the chance of drawing sigils we had of drawing cards that would have saved us, even after my mistake. But yeah, random, hey? Lots of fun. Well, it looks like I'm going to be grafting through my way of ranked again, just to get the cash to show you guys another draft, because we're not going to get any love helping us out from that result. We'll see if we happen to get any upgraded chests. But yeah, I genuinely believe that is the best draft deck that I've ever gone 0-3 with. So yeah, no bonuses, no love, no luck. That being said, that is what a Feln aggro deck I think should look like. It's just we didn't see the matchups where it could shine, and there was one bonehead mistake on my behalf. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope that you've learned something from this, or that you've enjoyed your Schadenfreude of watching me go through pretty decent misery. My name's Kozzi, drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1. I look forward to seeing you during our next video series, and hopefully we'll have something slightly more successful so you can see a couple more videos. All the best.